There's so much hype, but there are no real products. We're finally at the point where we fulfill our ICO promise, and in the next bull run, you will see it everywhere. Hey everyone, my name is Kordek, CEO and co-founder of Lisk, and I'm here in Singapore for the Token 2049 conference to explore the Asian sector a bit more for my project. So yeah, we created Lisk in 2016, so I think even before Altcoin Buzz, and I remember that time was a very good time to read about my project nearly daily on your page. So in the last 4 years, I think we underwent quite a strong change. So in 2018, approximately 19, when the ICO bubble bursted, you saw us also going down massively in valuation, and with it also in terms of awareness. So we basically stepped into the shadow because we couldn't maintain the hype because the bubble just busted, right? So what we did is we went undercover and started building, because what we realized is there's so much hype, but there are no real products out there yet at that time. So we built what, basically ended up into the Lisk SDK, which enables every JavaScript developer in the world to build their own blockchain. And now early next year, we're launching our platform where everyone can then connect their blockchain to our blockchain, and it's then what we call the Web3 blockchain application platform. And that's coming now, so it's super exciting days for us again, after years of building, to be finally at the point where we fulfill our ICO promise from 2016. It took too long, but we're getting there finally. So the thing is, with our SDK, you can build your own blockchain in JavaScript. And with that, you can build any blockchain application. So it's very similar, for example, with the Cosmos SDK or with Substrate from Polkadot, where you can build blockchains with. But this is then your own blockchain. It's not connected to anything. But for example, if you want to build a DEX, then you want to trade tokens from other applications. So your DEX would need to be connected to them. You would have to have a way to pull these tokens into your blockchain. And that's why this connection is very important. It's like what nowadays is called interoperability or a bridge in these kind of senses. And only that link will truly create the platform, because you want that all these blockchain applications can benefit from each other. Yeah, very important. It's either Java or JavaScript. We're using JavaScript, the most popular programming language in the world. Java is a different language, but there is a massive difference for developers, of course. So for example, one difference is that in JavaScript, you don't need to compile your code. So you can run your code everywhere. That's why it's so famous for browser applications nowadays. But I would say our main advantage is just that there's such a big number of JavaScript developers out there. And what we want to really achieve is to pull these large number of developers into the industry, because I think that will benefit all of us here. And from there on, they can stay on Lisk, they can keep building their blockchain application, or they could go to a competing layer one, which they maybe think is better. We don't really think that's bad, because we brought them into the industry, and that's again an advantage to all of us. But yeah, from a developer experience, massive differences. From a user perspective, they don't see that. They will never be in touch with the programming language, but of course there are then user experience differences with the wallets. Well, the most exciting fact is the platform launch, the Lisk platform launch. It's early next year. And with that, essentially a new layer one ecosystem emerges. So you have all the opportunities you had with other ecosystems like Cosmos, Polkadot, etc., again, within Lisk. So it's a huge opportunity for users, investors, entrepreneurs, businesses, and developers to really gain a foothold, to establish a strong foundation within our ecosystem, to build blockchain applications, to invest in tokens being created on this. So I think it's a big chance for many people. And that's coming early next year. So it's very soon where people can jump on the ship, So now is a great time to position themselves to be ready for when the time is right. Currently, we have a grant program, and we're supporting around 20 blockchain applications with that grant program. And we're launching a new grant program for, well, the mainnet release essentially, so that we can better support founders. I guess in the next 1 year, yeah, above 20 then, right? Hard to say how many in total, but what I've seen with other ecosystems, like Cosmos for example, it started very slow. And then it really went up and up and up. And now these projects have hundreds of blockchain apps being built on them. And I think within like 2-3 years, Lisk will be there as well. But with a new kind of blockchain application, I think, because many people already see now what's working, what's not working. And for us, it's from zero. So the catch-up game will be quick, like a DEX will be built, an Oracle system will be built, NFT marketplace, this will be built. But what's very interesting is what happens then. The true innovation has to happen. And I think here we are very strongly aligned because, well, there's just so many JavaScript developers out there who can actually build with us and bring innovation. User experience. It's too hard, like everything. Like just installing a wallet, keeping your private key secure. It's all just too complicated, too difficult, too far away from banking experiences or sending an email. So I think that's a lot has to happen in that area. Yeah, so our vision is to make blockchain accessible, and we have a goal to onboard 100 million users to crypto and Web3. So user experience from very early on was always one of our core principles and focus points. And that's like also what we're known for, that everything is quite easy to use. So when we're launching the platform, I think it will be top notch in terms of user experience. But like everyone else, we still also have a long way to go so that, for example, my mother or my sister could be onboarded to crypto as well. I think that's the goal, that's the benchmark we have to keep ourselves accountable for. We're beginning now. So I'm here, I'm based in Berlin, Germany, and the Berlin team just expanded the team from like, I think it was 3 marketeers to now 12. So massive increase. I'm going back to conferences, doing more interviews again. I'm actually like focusing on that in the coming year. So to bring Lisk really back into the limelight, you know, because we need this publicity and visibility so developers can come and build on Lisk. And that's starting now, and I think we're very well positioned because we have very strong finances, we have a great run rate, and we're here to stay for many years ahead. And that means developers can really build something strong with us. I think games are, with NFTs, the perfect way for onboarding because it's very simple, it's playful. So people want to do that, not only because they can earn money, but also because they play a game. They just have fun, you know? So I think it's great. And a game always has like sort of an onboarding in itself. And there, in a very gamified way, you could explain principles of crypto very easily. So I think it's brilliant for that purpose. In the long term, well, there are certainly some interesting use cases for like lower income regions in the world to make a living with these play-to-earn games, for example. But I think the best use case there is just the onboarding experience. Yeah, the Metaverse is all around us. Not yet maybe, but it hopefully will be soon. So for me, the Metaverse is not Sandbox or Decentraland. These are games. For me, the Metaverse is just the digital world, and it was always there. But now with crypto, we can like represent value in it. And with that, it can become only interesting because it's not about a decentralized, like a Metaverse land. It's more about like everyday things around you, which can only become visible maybe with an augmented reality contact lens or something. Very interested to see what Apple might release there in the coming future. But for me, it's just an augmented reality, something you add, you expand the reality with, to show more information, to have your assets in it, which maybe represent something like a ticket to an event or to this conference. And that's the digital aspect, but it doesn't need to like necessarily have a visual aesthetic to it. You know, it could also be an NFT, like a Bored Ape walks next to you and we're living our lives of Pokemon again, you know? And that also would be the Metaverse. There's so many different aspects and angles to it, very hard to explain. I think it will be very easy to grasp when you see it. We have a blockchain application called Kordek, and they're working on an NFT marketplace. And what we intend to do with Lisk itself is also to publish then on Kordek our own Lisk NFT series. But this comes then with the platform launch next year. Yeah, we have a standard. It doesn't have a fancy name, but it's not a very easy term. But we have it. With that, you can send NFTs from every blockchain in the Lisk ecosystem to another. Will be very simple, simpler than the ERC standard. So I think DeFi, there's some new trend emerging called grown-up DeFi. It's the protocols where they can bring yield through real income. So with Lisk, what we're actually focusing on next year until 2025 is sustainability. And with that, I mean that we make income to become sustainable so that we can keep going forever. And I think more and more DeFi protocols try to do the same, to have real income, which they can then forward as yield to their user base. And that's grown up DeFi, and I think that's pretty interesting because it's all not a scam then, but it's built on sophisticated financial methods, you know? Well, I think it will not stop with DeFi and GameFi. It will certainly just continue going into that direction. I think the biggest next trend will be about something new we have not seen yet, because we're in a bear market. And usually during the bear market, something new emerges. No one expected to emerge. And I don't know what it is. That's why I'm building an SDK for developers so they can figure it out. But I think it will be very interesting because that will emerge during this bear market. And in the next bull run, you will see it everywhere. So I think DeFi, GameFi were not the end. There are many more use cases coming to crypto, but I don't know what it will be. That's why we're building a developer community. That's why we have the most accessible crypto SDK out there. And we hope that these 20 million JavaScript developers will bring innovation. Yeah, I know you from back in the day. Really liked you. I'm very happy to reconnect with you now because I think we can do a lot of stuff together in the coming years. We're here, you're here. We've shown that we're here for the long run, not just for the hype. So I'm excited to be back in contact and let's work together.